After collapse comes renewal. The flood recedes. The waters withdraw. The structures that once defined the world have been stripped away, reduced, dissolved into something quieter, simpler, and more open. Where there was once complexity, there is now space. Where there was once tension, there is now stillness. And within that stillness, something remains, a survivor. In Greek tradition, Deucalion stands at the edge of a cleared world. In the biblical account, Noah emerges from the ark into a landscape washed clean. In Mesopotamian texts, Utnapishtim endures beyond destruction, carrying forward the thread of existence. Different names, different stories, but the same idea persists. Collapse does not erase everything. It preserves just enough. This is what defines renewal, not the recreation of what was, but the continuation of what remains. This stage represents adaptation. It represents persistence. It represents evolution, because what survives is not identical to what existed before. It has been shaped by collapse. It carries the imprint of what failed, what endured, and what could not be sustained. Renewal is not a return to the past. It is a movement forward from it. The system begins again, but not from the same position. Something has changed. Something has been learned, even if not consciously. Structures that once dominated no longer exist in the same form. Patterns that led to imbalance have been disrupted. The weight of accumulated consequence has been lifted. This creates the conditions for something new to emerge. But this new beginning is quieter, less defined, more fragile. Because renewal does not begin with full structure, it begins with possibility. The survivor stands between two states, the memory of what was lost and the uncertainty of what comes next. This is where adaptation becomes essential, because survival alone is not enough. To continue, the system must adjust. It must reorganize. It must rebuild. It must find new balance within the conditions that now exist. This is why renewal is closely tied to persistence. Not all elements of the previous system survive, but those that do must endure through change. They must carry forward what is essential while allowing everything else to evolve. This process is not immediate. It unfolds gradually. Small actions, subtle shifts, incremental rebuilding. From these, new patterns begin to form. And over time, these patterns grow into structure. This is where evolution emerges. Not as a sudden transformation, but as a result of repeated adaptation over time. The system does not simply restart, it refines itself. It becomes capable of sustaining new forms, new structures, new relationships. Yet within this renewal, there is always a tension, because while the system begins again, it is still bound by the same underlying forces. Time continues to move. Structure begins to reemerge. Awareness develops again. The cycle does not disappear, it resets. This is the deeper meaning of renewal. It is not freedom from the cycle. It is re-entry into it, but with the potential for change. The possibility that the next iteration may unfold differently, not because the system itself has changed, but because the way it is engaged has evolved. This is why renewal is both hopeful and uncertain. It offers continuation, but not certainty. It provides opportunity, but not guarantee. It opens the path forward, but does not define where it leads. And from this state, this balance between what remains and what is yet to be formed, something else begins to emerge. Not just survival, not just rebuilding, but connection. A bridge between what was, what is, and what could be. And it is through this bridge that the next stage unfolds.